Okay, so go ahead and use any support that you need to be able to sit comfortably. So knees are comfortable, back is able to be, straight but comfortable. So straight but not stiff. And then if it feels good, you can just kind of rock from side to side, just kind of teetering side to side on your sitting bones. You can go forward and back, you can make a circle, whatever feels nice. And then as you do this, start to connect with your breath and then let your body just soften more and more into the movement. So we'll stay, in this movement for for a little bit longer than we normally do. And then as you move around, notice how you're, building a connection with the floor. So you're getting like, a little bit better sense of what's supporting you and how to balance. And then you might be feeling the core, just keeping everything stable. And then see if you can start to soften and relax maybe the shoulders, the chest area, and the neck and the face. So there's, stability at the bottom, and then there's ease and kind of like a fluidity near the top. And then if you're making a circle, go the other way. You gotta get in and just kind of, like allowing this the really fluid motion to kind of that kind of dehypnotize the body. And by that I mean to, soften and release tension. Tension is kind of like the result of just taking something too seriously, which, we all have done, we all do. So here, just taking it lightly, and just let your body kind of unwind and settle. Alright, cool. And then gradually just start to make the movement more and more subtle. And really take your time. So make it more and more subtle gradually. Stay with your breathing. And then almost like there's a really gentle magnetic pull that's just winding you back up, lined up right in the center. Just let your body kind of gravitate towards the center. And then possibly to a point where it looks like you're still, but you're still feeling that movement, maybe just internally. Alright, great. And then once you're in the center, see if you can release the pelvic floor, relax the lower belly and the lower back, and allow gravity to really weigh your hips and your lower body down to the ground. So just like the feeling of a surrender to the force of gravity. And then out of that connection, just kind of like a plant, just really effortlessly growing upwards and all the way up through the crown of the head, being lifted nice and easily. Yeah, and just like a plant, the roots grow down from a seed considerably, before it starts growing upward. So every posture, it's starting off with our connection, with the earth, going with the force of gravity, and then seeing if that kind of going with the flow, so to speak, can help us to rise up and then gain a little bit of strength. Great, so now a few more deeper breaths. And just noticing how the length of the spine is creating a little bit more room for the breath. And then now just all your attention onto the breath. And just an expanding and contracting. And then feeling the flow of your breath. And making the transition points in your breath nice and smooth. Like one breath just kind of falls into the next breath. And all of your attention just on the now cyclic flow of your breath. And experiencing one of the truest meanings of flow, right? Just through the breath. Right, and then with your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, take the hands to prayer in front of the heart. Soften the shoulders and softly bow the head forward. And take just a moment and connect with your intention for practicing today. So why are you here? Why are you going to practice? And then take a moment and maybe just bring something to mind that you'd like to remember throughout your practice. Something you'd like to be mindful of. Alright, and then release the hands, lift the head. And let's take an easy twist over to the right. Alright, so right hand behind you, left hand on your knee maybe. And then just a simple twist, right? So don't really crank yourself too much, just really easy. So mostly just like, a turning of your chest. And the neck doesn't really even need to turn all that much. And again, really anchor the hips, anchor the left sitting bone. And then relax the shoulders and let a tall spine just kind of grow all on its own. And then we'll take a nice deep breath. Alright, then nice and easily release through the center. And then over to the left side. And again, just nice and easy. Just an easy twist to kind of, loosen up the back. Alright, now right sitting bone nice and heavy. Alright, lifted chest, relax shoulders. And then a nice deep breath. Alright, and then back into the center. And let's go ahead and walk the hands forward. And we'll come into Nice easy forward fold. Okay, so make sure the knees are friendly for it. So maybe flex the feet a little bit. And then try and keep the hips anchored. You can stretch the arms as far forward as what feels good. And then just try to relax the neck as best you can. So you can let the head hang. You can kind of stack your fists, rest your forehead right on your hands. But just in some way, allowing for the whole backside of your body, or the whole backside of your back, just to really relax and release. And let's take 2 deep breaths. Right, inhale, kind of inflating the back really broadly. And then exhale, just letting everything soften and settle. Alright, and with an inhale, let's walk the hands back in. And then take the arms all the way up. Maybe look up, nice big stretch. Hold the breath in for a moment as you lift. And as you exhale, hands to prayer. Alright, and let's come to all fours. Alright, so tabletop position. And then once you're there, just start to let the body move around freely. Alright, so that's really natural movements. Natural, spontaneous. And just really kind of feeling your body a little bit more here. And letting your breath still be nice and full. Alright, great. And then let's start to make some barrel rolls. So start to bend your spine as if you're trying to touch the center of the spine around a barrel. So that's like if there's like a belt strap right across the center of your torso. Just trying to move the body in a way that belt would just kind of rub against the inside of a barrel. And then as you do that, the neck and the tailbone kind of mirror each other. So they lift and they turn and they dip at the same time. Good. And then as the back arches, you can inhale. And as the back rounds, you can exhale. Alright, cool. And then switch direction. Good. And if you can, if your breath allows for it, just let the movement be a little bit slower. And possibly even a little bit more gentle. Right. So oftentimes when we move away from the extreme with the physical movement, we actually get into like a little bit deeper of a felt sense of the body. And then the inside of the body can start to really soften. Alright, great. And then back into the center. Let's take an inhale and arch the back. And as you exhale, let's go into child's pose. I forgot to mute everybody, so I'll do that real quick. Okay, then in child's pose, let's just take a few breaths. And let's let the body relax. So maybe rock side to side. Maybe kind of roll the wrists, loosen up the wrists. Yep, a couple nice, easy, soothing breaths. Okay, great. And then when you're ready, let's come up to downward facing dog. All right, in down dog, just start to move the body around. So again, try and make it really natural movements. Natural, spontaneous, really just feeling the floor and then feeling the body and breathing all throughout the body. And seeing if you can just really, get into the body in a sense that you're really feeling each part of your body from that part of your body. So you're not thinking about it, but you're really feeling it and you're really sensing it. And for me, it helps just to really slow down and to definitely deepen my breath. And then if it seems like that's not happening, then I just like stop trying to do anything and then just breathe. So really just, allowing for the mind to kind of get out of the way. And we don't need to push it out of the way, but we just need to direct our attention kind of like on something neutral, like the breath. All right, cool. And then in down dog, let's step the feet all the way together. All right, so really spread the fingers, right? Strengthen the arms, strengthen the shoulders, relax the neck. And then as you inhale, bend the knees really deeply. Maybe just kind of tap the floor with your knees. And then exhale, straighten the knees. Lift the tailbone as you press the heels down. And then as you inhale, bend the knees deeply. Right, push the hips back towards the heels. And exhale, straighten the knees. Get a nice stretch in the back side of the legs. And inhale, bend the knees. Tap the floor. And exhale, straighten the knees. All right, and then inhale, lift the hips up. All right, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, let's walk the feet up towards the hands. Little steps. All right, then once you're there, inhale, come to a flat back. Strong legs, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, fold. All right, let's hold here for a few breaths. So feel free to spread the feet apart. Feel free to bend the knees a lot at first. I highly recommend it. And then just make sure that the weight is even in the roots of your toes and your heels. And then just let your head totally relax. Let the weight of your head just lengthen the whole spine. Let the whole backside of the body just relax and get a nice stretch. And then really come into your breathing. So see if you can notice, how the breath really enhances every pose. But for one thing, it creates a lot more endurance. And the breath just keeps balance. So for example, if we hung upside down and didn't breathe deeply, a lot of things would go wrong, as you could imagine. So the breath allows us to enjoy these positions for longer. So there can be like a really, really deep and sometimes a really noticeable effect on the body and the mind. All right, one more deep breath. All right, good. And then in the center, go ahead and bend the knees, push into the feet, tuck the tailbone, and then inhale, roll all the way up. Nice and slow. Keep the arms heavy. Keep the head heavy. Then once you roll all the way up, take the arms up. Maybe look up, maybe stretch back. Good. Ground the feet. And as you exhale, hands through prayer, and then hands all the way down to the floor. Relax the neck. And then inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, let's step back to down dog. All right, cool. So in down dog again, really stretch the fingers. All right, really strengthen the shoulders and the upper back. So So try and create some space between the shoulder blades. Alright, cool. And then feet about hips distance apart. Let's turn the heels to the left. So the outer edge of your left foot will be on the floor, inner edge of the right foot on the floor. Alright, cool. And then strengthen both of your arms and see if you can get a nice stretch on the right lat muscle. So the right side of your rib cage. Take a nice deep breath. Alright, great. And then spin back on the toes. Come to down dog. And then heels to the right. Alright, great. So both arms nice and strong. Good, kind of pushing your chest towards your inner left thigh. And then take a nice big breath into the left side of your ribs. Alright, good. And then back to center. Take a nice big breath in, lift up through the hips. And as you exhale, bend the knees and walker step up to your hands. Inhale, come to a flat back. Nice full breath. And as you exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, lead with arms, come all the way up standing. Really strong legs as you stretch up. And exhale, hands through prayer, hands all the way down to the floor. Relax the neck. And inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, let's step back to plank pose. And let's take a few breaths here. All right, so now both arms really strong, right, really strong core, really strong chest. And try to relax the neck, right, relax the jaw. And then just lift the right foot off the floor about 2 inches. And then put the right foot down. Lift your left foot up. Good. Feel your core kind of shift and engage. And then left foot down. Right foot up. And right foot down. Good. Keep breathing deep. And left foot up. All right, go one more time. Left foot down. Right foot up. And then right foot down. And left foot up. All right, left foot down, plank pose. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, knees down, lower all the way down to your belly. And then untuck the toes. And as you inhale, lift the chest, come into a cobra. Nice and easy. Take a full breath. And as you exhale, lower down, tap the forehead. And as you inhale, lift up to another cobra. Right, shoulders down, elbows in. And exhale, lower down, tap the forehead. Try and ground down tops of the feet and the pelvis. And then inhale, lift up to a cobra. Good. Hands kind of pull back like you're feeling a stretch on the belly. And exhale, lower down, tap the forehead. Now let's do one more. Inhale, lift up to a cobra. Nice full deep breath. And as you exhale, lower down. And let's press back through child's pose. And then when you're ready, up to down dog. Alright, nice job. So probably feeling a little bit of heat in the body. And noticing how that's affecting the body. Noticing how that's affecting the breath. And noticing how that's affecting your mind. Right? So oftentimes the first sign of heat buildup, it's like such a resistance and we don't want it to happen. But the resistance of the mind, just makes it hotter. And that goes, even for the outside heat. So, see if you can really be with it. Just experience how it feels. And then just breathe into it. Alright, good. Let's take a nice big breath in. Lift up through the hips. And as you exhale, bend the knees and walk, step, or lightly jump up to your hands. And inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, fold. Alright, from here, spread the feet apart about shoulders distance. Put a nice bend in your knees. And then let's interlace the hands behind the back. Good. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, straighten the elbows, and then start to lift the hands up away from the hips, and then relax the neck as best you can. Alright, deep breaths. And then if it feels good, just go ahead and keep your knees bent the whole time. If you want, push into the feet, and then just lift the hips up, just till you feel a stretch. Alright, cool. Let's take one deep breath. Alright, great. And then from here, go ahead and bend both knees a little bit. And let's straighten the right knee, and then bend the left knee a little bit more if you want. I'll take a little twist. Alright, so left shoulder is dipping down towards your left knee. Good. The chest is opening up to the right, and the right leg is really lifting up through the right hip. Take a nice deep breath. Alright, cool. And then go ahead and bend the right knee. Alright, belly and chest on your thighs. And then straighten your left knee. Dip the right shoulder. Roll the left shoulder open. Good. Relax the neck. So for some reason, I really like the view from this pose. So maybe you can, enjoy that. And then take a nice deep full breath. Alright, cool. And then bend both your knees. Alright, good. So bend both the knees deeply, and then release the arms, reach them straight ahead, and then with a 90-degree bend in your knees, come up to chair pose. Alright, so you might not lift very much, that's okay. So really getting into the legs, rock forward and back a couple times, just to feel the weight shift into the toes and into the heels. Good, keep breathing. And then just stop where you feel centered in your feet. Press the feet down, push the feet apart, feel the core, and then lengthen the arms, and then lengthen the tailbone and the crown away from each other. Take one more deep breath. Alright, cool. Then inhale, rise all the way up standing. Take a nice big breath in, maybe stretch back. And as you exhale, hands through prayer. Hands all the way down to the floor. Relax the neck. And then inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, step back to plank pose. And the same breath, lower down nice and slow. Softly touch down. And inhale, lift up to a cobra. Nice even back bend. And as you exhale, lower down. Either press up to plank pose or back to child's pose, and then up to down dog. Okay, nice job. Let's take one deep full breath here. Alright, cool. And then with an inhale, let's come forward to plank pose. Alright, so really push into the floor, strong core. And then as you exhale, back to down dog. Good. Slope the tailbone up. Really exhale from the core. And then inhale to plank pose. And exhale to down dog. There you go. Nice full breath. Let's do 3 more. Alright, inhale to plank pose. If you want to, bend the elbows. Do a push up. And exhale back to down dog. Good. Inhale to plank pose. If you want, push up. And exhale back to down dog. There you go. Nice breath. Last one. Inhale, come forward, plank pose. If you want, lower down, tap the chest. And exhale back to down dog. Alright, take a nice deep breath in, lift the hips. And as you exhale, bend the knees, walk, step, or lightly jump up to your hands. Inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, fold. Okay, so feet again about hips distance or shoulders distance. Put a nice bend in your knees, and then let's slide the fingers or the hands right underneath the fronts of the feet.
Alright, so we're sliding the palms all the way under the soles of the feet. So the roots of your toes are on the heart of your palm, and the toes are on your wrist crease. If that doesn't feel good, then you can just grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Alright, cool. Then relax the neck. Good. Make sure you're breathing deeply. And then if it feels good, you can just press down to the feet, start to lift the hips. If it feels good, you can pull the shoulders away from the ears, and then just get a nice stretch in the wrist capsule. Alright, let's take 2 deep full breaths. Good, last breath. Alright, cool. Go ahead and bend the knees and release the hands and touch the palms of the hands down to the floor. And let's inhale, come to a flat back. And as you exhale, fold. Let's step the right leg to the back of the mat and then spin the right heel down. Walk the hands to the center of the mat and we'll come into Prasarita. That's a wide-legged forward fold. Alright, so see if you can have the heels a little bit wider than your toes. And then bend the knees a little bit. Alright, ground the feet. Inhale, come to a flat back. And as you exhale, fold. Alright, great. Then as you inhale, bend the left knee. Alright, just try and focus on the hips sinking. And then exhale, straighten the left knee. And inhale, bend the right knee. Just getting into the groins and the hips. And as you exhale, straighten the knee. And inhale, bend the left knee. Good. And make sure that the knees feel okay with this. And exhale, straighten. Good. Last one. Inhale, bend the right knee. And exhale, straighten the knee. Good. Inhale, bend both knees. And exhale, straighten both knees. Alright, great. Then inhale, let's come to a flat back, rise up on the fingertips. And then hands to the hips, hold as you exhale. And then as you inhale, come all the way up. Alright, cool. Now let's take the arms out like this, broad across the shoulders. And then turn the left foot out, and then bend the left knee. And we'll come into Warrior 2. Alright, cool. So if you can, bend the left knee so it's going towards a right angle and it's bending right in the same direction as your left toes. Keep the right leg nice and strong. I press back through the heel and then try and press both the feet down as equally as you can. Alright, tuck the tailbone, make sure the lower back feels comfortable. And then with an inhale, let's straighten the knee. Touch the palms overhead, stretch the toes, and really lengthen upwards. And as you exhale, bend the knee, sink down. Good. Inhale, straighten the knee, touch the palms up, stretch up. And as you exhale, bend the knee, get really softly kind of floating down. And then inhale, come on back up. And as you exhale, alright, sink back down. As you inhale, reverse the warrior, left hand up. And as you exhale, let's go into extended side angle. So left elbow on your thigh, and then right arm at an angle. Okay, cool. So hold this for 5 deep breaths. Alright, so really ground the feet. If you're balanced, it feels nice to close the eyes sometimes on this one. So squeeze the feet, scoop the tailbone. Nice, and then feel a sense of the chest lifting and then lengthening away from your left foot. Nice. If the eyes are open, it might feel good to look up towards the right hand. Last 2 breaths. Good, last breath. Cool, reach the right hand back and then inhale, come up to warrior two. And as you exhale, if you want to, sink down a little bit further, and then straighten the left knee. All right, good. And just walk the right foot in a little bit, and we'll reach the left hand forward, and then come into triangle pose. All right, cool. So left hand can grab your ankle or as high up your shin as you need to. Good. Right hand can be up. All right, cool. And then actually, let's take the right hand to the right hip first, and then take the gaze down to the left foot, and then see if you can turn the right hip towards the floor. So you're kind of squaring the hips, squaring your chest, and then lift the right hip back up and open the chest. All right, cool. And then turn the right hip down. And try this a couple times at your own pace. So make sure that you're secure in your feet. Your core muscles, glute muscles are supporting the movement. Make sure you're breathing. All right, cool. And the next time the hip is turned down, all right, see if you can really feel the feet root down and then lengthen the spine. And then just start to roll the right shoulder open, and then let the hips just stop at an angle where it feels, really strong. It feels really nice in the lower back. And then if you want to, take the right hand all the way up. And then now, as effortlessly as you can, just letting everything in the body spread open. And so both legs, both arms, the chest and the spine, and the breath. Let's take 2 deep, full breaths. Good, and that transition point between the breaths, last one. All right, cool, ground the feet. As you inhale, come all the way back up. And then pivot the left foot in, turn the right foot out, and then bend the right knee, and we'll come into warrior two. Okay, so go ahead, and adjust your stance, maybe lengthen your stance. And then start to really find your feet, right? So find that downward pressing, right, with the feet, the downward sinking of the tailbone, and that might allow you to sink the hips with a little bit more sense of like buoyancy. Right, so the upper body is lifting, shoulders are relaxing, arms are spreading, and the breath is still filling up the body every inhale. All right, good. And then inhale, take the right arm up, reverse the warrior. And as you exhale, back to warrior two. And then inhale, straighten the right knee, touch the palms overhead, right, stretch up, stretch the toes. And as you exhale, bend the knee, back into warrior two. Good. Inhale, straighten the knee, touch the palms up. See if you can lengthen the tailbone down as you reach the crown up. And then exhale, back into warrior two. Good. Inhale, straighten the knee, touch the palms. And as you exhale, back into warrior two. Good. Last one. All right, inhale, straighten the knee, stretch up. And as you exhale, bend the knee, sink down nice and low. And then inhale, reverse the warrior once more. And as you exhale, right elbow on the thigh, left arm at an angle, extended side angle. All right, and we're here and we're in it now. 5 deep, full breaths. And so remember, it's your choice to be here. This isn't a hostage situation. So be in it, right? Breathe deeply, just feel it. Acknowledge that you're building strength. Acknowledge you're building endurance. Acknowledge that you're trying to be comfortable when you're uncomfortable. Maybe one of the most undervalued but useful skills in all of life. All right, if you want to, take the gaze up to your left hand, Take one more nice deep breath. All right, then left hand back. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, sink down a little bit lower if you want. And then straighten your left knee. Walk the right knee. Walk the left foot in a little bit. And then reach the right hand forward. And then take the right hand down. And we'll come in a triangle pose. All right, and then left hand to your hip. And then take the gaze down to the floor. And then turn the left hip so your hips are square to the floor. And then as you breathe, just do that a few times. Just tilt the hips square to the floor and then open the hips up. Very nice. So just noticing that you can be mobile, in poses. You don't have to be stiff. And you have a lot more freedom than you think. All right, and then go ahead and close the hip, ground the feet, engage with the core, lengthen the spine, and then take the right hand up, start to open the chest, and then just let your hips naturally go where they feel like going. All right, so tuning into the body. All right, 2 deep full breaths. Good, last breath. All right, great. Now ground the feet. As you inhale, come all the way up to standing. And then pivot the right foot in. And let's take the hands to the hips. All right, cool. And then lift the chest, pull the elbows back. Take a nice big breath in. Maybe lean back, push the hips forward. And as you exhale, fold forward. All the way, hands touch down. All right, cool. And let's hold this for 3 deep breaths. All right, so let the head relax. Good. Feel the feet nice and anchored, the hips lifting. And then every exhale, so just kind of getting the sensation that there's tension leaving out through the crown of your head. The spine is really relaxing. Let's take one more breath. All right, great. And then from here, let's walk the hands over to the left foot. And we'll take the right hand and go ahead and take hold of your ankle. Good. And then the left hand can kind of be behind your calf, and you can just kind of pull yourself folding over your left leg. If you want to, you can take the left hand all the way up, wrap it behind your back, and reach for the right inner thigh. And see if you can lift the right hip up so the hips are squared. And then if it feels good, relax the neck. And then just try to relax as best as you can. 2 deep breaths. Holding the pose with just enough effort that's necessary. Okay, if your left arm is wrapped, take it back down. And then let's walk over to the right side. Good. Left hand around the ankle. Right hand can hold your calf muscle or wrap it behind the back. Reach for the inner thigh. Very nice. And then just fold along the right leg. And try to keep the left hip lifting. And that'll create a little bit more of a stretch on your right hamstring and the left rib cage. Alright, relax the neck. Yeah, let's take 2 deep breaths. Good. Last breath. Soften the jaw, soften the face. Alright, if the right arm is wrapped, release. And then walk back to the center. And let's heel toe the feet all the way together into a regular forward fold. And then inhale, come to a flat back. And as you exhale, fold. And then let's go ahead and bend the knees and come to a kneeling position with the toes tucked under. So do a little toe stretch. So toes tucked under like this. And if that's too much on your toes, then just take your hands on the floor in front and take some weight off of your heels. But if it feels good, take the hands to prayer. And if you want a little bit more, you can even lean back. Okay, close the eyes, deep breath. And see if you can feel the feet letting go into the stretch. One more breath. Alright, if you're leaning back, take your time. Come all the way back up. And then take the hands down on the floor. And then untuck the toes. Then keep the knees closer together and spread the feet wider than your hips. And then walk the hands back and we'll lower the hips right in between the feet. Alright, so really be careful with your knees. Alright, if you can't touch the floor easily, then go ahead and sit on a block or a pillow or use your arms for support like I'm doing. And if it feels really good, you can lean back, just walk the hands back. And if your body wants you to, you can lean back onto your elbows, or you can lay all the way onto your back with your arms stretched out overhead. But this is a great example of a pose that obviously doesn't work for everybody in the same way. So just do what feels right for you. This used to be one of the most uncomfortable poses for me by far. But then I stuck with it, I practiced it a lot, and now I really like it. So the poses that are uncomfortable, right? Even in life, all the relationships that are really uncomfortable, it just means that there's the most room for growth in those relationships. So just listen, just be relaxed, be willing to engage with it. One more breath. Alright, then if you're leaning back, take your time. Come all the way back up. And then we'll take the hands on the floor in front, cross the legs behind, and then sit back behind the feet. And bring the legs out in front, nice and easily. Let the knees stretch out. Pat the knees against the floor. Wag the feet from side to side. Alright, cool. So from here with the legs nice and long, go ahead and flex the feet. Then lift the knees a little bit. So by lift the knees, I mean bend the knees. And then sit up nice and tall, lift the chest. And then inhale, take the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, fold forward with your knees bent. Right. So try and bend your knees enough. That's where you can easily grab the outsides of your feet. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. And so you're kind of pulling the shoulders down the back, letting the chest lift. And then as you exhale, just fold a little bit more with that length in your spine. Alright, cool. We'll take 2 breaths with the knees bent first. Right, so hips are grounded, and you're feeling there's a lengthening from the tailbone all the way up through the crown of the head. And there's not a lot of force involved. Alright, cool. And then if you want to, you can just start to walk the hips back, one hip bone at a time. Alright, great. And let's take 3 deep, full breaths. Good. And just feeling the inhale expanding the body from the inside. And then a nice, long, and relaxed exhale. Just letting the body absorb the pose, really sink into it. Good. Last full breath. great. Then start to lengthen the spine, press the heels into the floor, reach the arms straight ahead, and inhale, come all the way up with a flat back. And as you exhale, hands to prayer. And then let's go all the way onto our backs. Alright, so once you're on your back, go ahead and squeeze the knees into the chest. And do whatever feels nice in your back. So you might want to rock side to side. You might want to draw circles with the knees. Or you might just want to be still and just really enjoy the back resting and decompressing. Okay, cool. And then from here, let's go ahead and set the feet down to the floor. Let's take the right ankle, cross it over your left thigh, and then we'll do a figure 4 stretch. So reach through with your hands, either grab your left hamstring or your left shin, and then pull your knee in. Keep the right foot flexed, and then see if you can, just keep the sacrum anchored flat on the floor, shoulder blades hugging flat on the floor, and the neck relaxed. And then whatever stretch you're feeling, just do nothing but just sense and feel the stretch and take 2 deep breaths. Alright, great. And then go ahead and release the left foot to the floor. And then squeeze the right knee into the chest. And then straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and take hold of your leg anywhere but the knee. Get a nice stretch in the back of the leg. And then go ahead and flex the foot. Pull the toes back. And then point the foot. Try that a couple times. Alright, and then bend the right knee, squeeze it in once more. And then right foot down. And let's do figure 4 on the other side. Left ankle across the right thigh. Reach through. Take hold of what makes sense on this side. There you go, nice. And then as you pull the knee in, make sure that your back is remaining flat on the floor. So sacrum flat on the floor, shoulder blades on the floor. Nice, and the neck is relaxed. Right, cool. Now once you pull in and you feel the stretch, let's see if you can almost imagine that you're breathing and the breath is going straight into the stretch. And then as you exhale, as the breath leaves that area, so does tension and gripping. And there's just kind of more space, a feeling of a release. Let's take one more breath. Alright, then carefully release. Right foot down. Squeeze the left knee in. And then straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take hold of your left leg. Alright, good. And then let's point and flex the left foot a couple times. Alright, then bend the left knee, squeeze the knee in, and then both feet down to the floor, and we'll do one bridge lift. So feet about hips distance, arms alongside the body, toes straight ahead, and then as you inhale, lift the hips, right, really grounding the feet. Alright, great. Then once the hips are lifted, go ahead and walk the shoulder blades under the back. And you can do that by either turning the palms up, grabbing the sides of your mat, pulling it apart, or interlacing the hands underneath your body. And then really use your upper back and arm strength to open the chest, grounding the feet, using the glutes to lift the hips, and then totally relax the neck. Let's take 2 deep, full breaths. There you go, good. Patience with your breath. Go all the way to the end. Last breath. Alright, then nice and easily undo the arms. Take the arms overhead. Take a nice big breath in. Lift the heels up. And as you exhale, roll the back down nice and slow. Alright, great. Now let's bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees open up. Take one hand to your chest, one hand to your belly. Just one deep breath. Feel the pulse of your body. Alright, then guide the knees back together. Bring the knees in, give a little squeeze. And then open up the arms and let the legs fall to either side. We'll do a supine twist. Alright, then once the legs are over there, just let the body relax. Just let the body fall into the twist however it feels like it. Deep breath. Alright, then nice and easily come back through the center. And then legs to the other side. Good. Let the shoulders relax. Let the belly relax. Let the feet relax. Nice deep breath. Alright, and then back into the center. And then squeeze the knees in one last time. Let's bring the forehead towards the knees. Squeeze into a tight little ball. And squeeze the core, face, hands, and feet. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, release. And then spread out. Let the body find a nice resting position. Alright, so spread out as much as you want to. If you can, try and turn the palms to face upwards. And so as we enter this pose of letting go and surrender, we're also in a very open and receptive state. Alright, and then just for a few minutes, just really enjoy the practice of this pose. And it's one of the most important poses that we'll do in any yoga class. And it's really an opportunity to just let your body be exactly as it is. And then just simply observe and notice your body exactly as it is. And even maybe gaining a little bit of appreciation and wonder of how amazing the body is. And as you be still and you pay attention, see if you can notice just more and more subtleties of the sensations and the life inside your body. Okay, now before you move just yet, just notice the way that your body's breathing. Notice the way that the heart is beating. And see if you can keep the awareness of that in the background as you start to really gently deepen the breath. Sensing the heartbeat and starting to move your fingers and move the toes. Good. Open and close the jaw, turn the neck. And then move the wrists and the ankles. And then if it feels good, take the arms, stretch them overhead, lengthen your legs, take a nice breath. And then relax that, step the feet in, bring the knees in, and then roll over to the right side. And let your head rest on the right arm like a pillow. And then take a moment here, let the body relax. Notice how the body feels. And then when you're ready, come all the way up to a comfortable seated position. And then, when in doubt, if you're feeling hurried or rushed, just have the bravery to take one conscious breath. That's all it takes sometimes. So inhale, take the arms up. And as you exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. And softly bow the head forward. Please take a moment, thank yourself for your practice. Thank yourself for waking up, for your attention, and for your effort. And take a moment, thank your body, acknowledge your body for how amazing it is and all that it does for you in every moment. And I thank each of you too. Hope you have a great day and a great rest of your week. Namaste.